Say this, I know you got an excellent service, and I appreciate the service you provide. But I just would love to see by this resolution that you offer. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're not outside in the county nowhere right now.
We are.
Where at? Where you at?
About 450 people.
About 400.
450. We're in Wellington Heights, and then we went around down Kidwell's Ridge Road, several subdivisions off of that, and some scattered places.
Okay, I know, Jody, and this body understands. You can't provide service to every individual. I mean, it's not economical, and we wouldn't begin to ask you to do such things, to try to do that. We just say, we feel like Hamblen County residents, Hamblen County taxpayers deserve an opportunity to have your service if you're going to be going to other counties. So, I have heard, now correct me if I'm wrong, this is all hearsay, I'm fixing to say, that you will be providing service where Appalachian is now serving in Hamblen County. Is that right or is that wrong?
Some areas.
That is right.
Yes. Well,
Partly right. Well, in other words, again, it would come to the fact that that you would not be, I know you wouldn't be providing to every resident because of it's not economical to do so. But I guess I'm asking, there will be service provided in Hamblen County,
yes.
other than what's already there.
Other than what we serve now.
Yeah,
yes. Yes. Do you want me to just?
Yeah, no, you just pick it up and go. Pick it up and go, guys.
Let me just go. There's been several things said here that are absolutely not true, and some of them are true. But for one thing, I cannot offer retail services outside of Hamblen County. That's state law.
You can say that
I
again?
cannot offer retail, internet, and video services outside of Hamblen County. I have not said that I would. So the last whereas don't really agree with that. The other whereas we're okay. I do have pilot status where I could go into Hamblen County. Mr. Swan got that passed several years back. And we, for years, desired to get into the county. There's two basic issues with that. One is the funding mechanism. I don't go to the city to borrow money to take a risk of venture into the county. So I would need to either go borrow my own money or have you back some bonds, low interest rate U.S. County Commission. The number two problem is when I go out of the city, I'm created as a telecom provider. Today, we use fiber optics to run the entire electric system. It's how we read meters, it's how we operate things. So inside the city, I have the fiber in the electric space up a little higher, and we're able to share that infrastructure. When I get to the county, I'm treated as a telecommunication provider, and I have to drop down lower. There's all this work has to be done on the poles to move things around, change poles. It's very cost prohibitive. It's very slow. We learned that lesson when we went down Kidwell's Ridge. And it's not my power poles. I can't control them. That's Appalachians. So in this project, now this is a joint public-private venture. There is no government obligation by the county. I'm not borrowing any money. I'm more like a wholesale provider to those. So this is private money that would be invested. So I just become someone they could come co-locate equipment in my head in and possibly go serve other areas. Now, Appalachian is very desirous to have fiber optics for their electric system. So in this project, and it wouldn't be everybody. You're right, it's not finance, it's not logical to try to serve every single person. Nobody in America does that to the rural area. But in this project, the private money would fund the build, but it would be owned by Appalachian, who would turn around and lease back to the private provider. It would be some other company, not me, offering retail services, but they could buy the wholesale service. Now, Appalachian covers about 3/4 of the county residents. And I know the manager there very much wants to cover as many people as he can possibly pass. The other 1/4 of the county is served by Holston, east and the southeast, where Herbert is. So those two difficulties, that's why we have it, the funding and the issues about being on somebody else's power hoses is why we haven't got there. But this is a major investment, and when you limit it, when you say all of Hamblen County before you go ever do anything else, this project by the investors needs to have a quantity of scale large enough so they can get a return on their investment, or they're not going to put the money in the Lakeway area. So the feasibility study that's still in progress covers a lot of Jefferson County, Dandridge, White Pine, Jefferson City, covers Hamblen County, where Appalachian serves. Cotton County is also looking it to be included in that. The idea to get large enough where the investors feel like they can get a return on investment. So if you limit it to Hamblen, limited me to Hamblen County only, it would effectively kill the opportunity to bring this investment into the county.
Let me ask you this, Jody. Has the legislative bodies in Jefferson County and Cobb County, have they passed a resolution asking that your services be extended to their counties?
They passed, I don't know if they asked my services, because I can't do that anyway. They did pass a resolution, which was on your consent calendar in December, that supported trying to change legislation at Nashville, which would allow municipalities to go someplace else. But that's not passed now, so that law is not changed. But in this law, in this project, I'm not the retail provider in Jefferson or Cobb or wherever.
The private is who, or is that,
I don't know who the investors, we're working with a company called Magellan Advisors, and they go get the investors, and they're looking at the feasibility to see if it looks like they can get a decent return, and then they will go out and find those investors. But I do know, I can't say who, but I do know this last week, there was a city in Texas that private investors did this. You ask, why are they doing that? And I've talked to my friends at AT&T and cable TV. You know, they're stockholder providers. They got to provide a profit. They look for shorter return on investment. These investors are looking at fiber optics like power lines, water lines, or streets, and they're willing to make a long-term investment because they don't pay stockholders. They just want a return on their investment where they got their money in bond markets. It's not doing too good.
what type of investment are they gonna be making? And we're looking at 10 million or 100 million?
At one time, they said they need a minimum of 100 million to make it feasible. They need to be that large. That's why if you just trapped it in Hamblen County, we're not gonna get that investment coming. And I'm trying to get it. This is the best opportunity that I've seen in a long time to be able to provide fiber to the home out into the county. I'm concerned about education. I know
What's their,
Project 2020 is coming, and the county needs faster speeds.
Kind of sort of, what's their density that they look for? You know, the old cables used to look for 20 and
25. I don't know that there is one. I know, you know, those old franchises are not. When AT&T did the state franchise, and then cable TV did it, and then you put in my franchise the same words, they took all that 25 homes a mile out.
But I'm just saying from an investor standpoint, they used to look at,
I'm sure
they wanted 20 a mile to make it.
Well, what they told Appalachian is Appalachian would like to pass everybody, like I do in the city.
They do anyway.
But their answer is they're gonna logically have to go to where they can make some return on investment, and as they make money, then they would return that investment to extend further and further. I would think any large neighborhood, we got pockets in east, northeast, and west Hamblen County. I don't think they're gonna, I call it fiber to boat dock. I don't think, you're never gonna get to that level, but they'll certainly try to get some. Like, the reason Appalachian wants it as deep as they can get it, is because they wanna read their meters with it and have speed, which we have. So, you know, to me, the section 2 and section 2, if it's all Hamblen County, then, you know, that really hurts this project. And this is fiber and home. This is not copper. This is the same speeds that you have in Marston.
The money you received there, Jody, could they be utilized as far as a piggy bank, basically, to be able to build some money up where you could extend to the other part of the county? I understand Appalachian is going to provide some service for some of our people right now, where they already have the electricity. So that means it's going to benefit part of Hamblen County, or maybe a small portion, but it starts out there. But what the income, or whatever income you might receive off of Appalachian, could that be put into something that starts a fund to put into the county? I mean, to do this whole county, what are you looking at dollar-wise? I'm sure y'all done some
To
numbers
just
on
do
that at
this,
one time.
clear the whole county, probably 30, 40 million, if you touched everybody. So I have like 46 homes per mile in the city. I'm pretty tight, so I go past a lot of people. But in the county, you're talking about, and I say that because all the make-ready. Our project on Kidwell's Ridge Road costs 10% extra just moving around stuff in poles. And that's, it'd be better if Appalachian, or this other company would reinvest and go deeper into the county under the same model.
We couldn't ask them to set aside money to do that down there. I mean, I think they do that in places like Russia and places. Yeah.
But I think obviously we'd like to, I mean, I'm trying to get it to the county. This is the best opportunity I've seen. It may not go, the feasibility study may come back.
But is there any subdivision in Jefferson County and Hamblen County that we split?
Several.
I'm sure.
May acres, and there's right on the line. I don't know how some of those houses will be in Hamblen County, some of them be in Jefferson.
Greenbrier Road.
Yeah. So why would you?
Like, for an example, a big subdivision, in my mind, it's not in my district, it's in your district, it's 7 Oaks. There's over 200 houses in 7 Oaks.
We actually have plans, engineering plans, 7 Oaks, Brentwood, all that. whole area. We just
That
got
would be,
And I see, from my house, I see where you're there, right above me, and I'd like you to come down. But see, that's not the point.
but anyway,
Well, so you understand my position, and I'm more of a wholesale provider. Now, it could be Fibernet in the county, or there'll be, to get into Jefferson County or Cotton County, there'll be some other company apply to the state or private company to run it like anybody else, because I'm restricted. But this is, I think if this were to pass, I don't think the ink would be dry before it'd be in the legislative halls of Nashville.
and everything you notice in the resolution, we just say request. We don't say, we don't, I mean, we've not worded it any way to which, we've got no, we realize we've got no grips on you.
Why would we be doing it if it just?
That's what I'm
If
going.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
look at
limit
section
the
2, you're locking him in on section 2, the last
Before.
part of it,
There's a word in there before.
yeah, before.
I tell you what, you know, speaking as your chamber chairman, as opposed to utility manager, we need to have a cooperative effort with Jefferson County. We're pretty landlocked here. We continue to grow that way, and they grow this way. And, you know, for y'all to pass something and say, I just want to keep it here in Hamblen County until I get everybody served before I would share this technology with somebody else, I don't think it passes.
Everybody served that you're gonna serve. Everybody served that you're gonna serve. I mean, if you're not gonna, for example, everybody that would be looked at that's on Appalachian, I mean, they would at least get a look to see if it was feasible to provide service to them.
But if that's
That's
what
not
you
what it
want
says.
to say, Stanford, Appalachian, then you need to put that wording in this resolution.
Well, I'm
Right
just
now,
using
it's got the
that.
whole county.
I'm just using that for an example.
Yeah.
I I would rather have send a message of unity and cooperation with Jefferson. I think at some point, someday, we're gonna have to jointly start doing some economic development projects. You look at Exit 8, Exit 4, that could be a tremendous industrial corridor there, but half of that land or more of it's in Jefferson County. So I know, I've been before White Pine City Council, Jefferson City, Danbridge.
You appeared before the legislative bodies in Cobb County and Jefferson County.
I did not go Cobb County. See, Cobb
But
County.
asking for a resolution,
No, I didn't ask for that. They asked me to come, and
okay, but I mean,
there wasn't even a
encourage the
resolution.
resolution to change the law in Nashville.
That's what Jefferson
Yeah.
County, it's what
Yeah.
Jefferson County Commission has, yes. Now, when I went to the other meetings, there,
Let's,
How many people did you say are served by Appalachian in Hamblen County?
75%.
75% of the county?
probably
If it's not
30,
the city limits, it's served by
and
Appalachian,
there's 30,000.
plus some Holston, right?
Some Holston,
Yeah.
which I can't,
No, I
Holston's not
understand.
part of this project.
I'm not saying that, I'm just answering his question.
Are we gonna ask the same of Charter and Comcast on this resolution?
Be fine with me, bring them in one month, next
Because-
month bring AT&T in, next month bring Charter in.
There's a lot of us, don't have access to anything. I mean, Charter, I'm in no man's
You got
land.
an antenna?
Huh? That's about what it boils down to. You gotta go out and turn it.
But you're not there setting up on a hill by yourself.
But I have several subdivisions out in my district, though, large subdivisions, some of them are larger than others, of course, but don't have anything. 3 of them, exactly, Chris Cass's subdivision is one of them. It's just a fact.
all right.
Everybody.
Do we have anybody else wants to ask Jody a question? We need to move on.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would say if this passes, it would be in conflict with my resolution, with my franchise. that you
Okay.
have now.
All right, now we're back to the resolution. Are you gonna make that in the form of a
I'm
motion?
gonna make that, Mr. Chairman, I make that in the form of a motion that we adopt this resolution.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Been moved to second. I'd like to offer an amendment to the resolution. I would want to move that we delete in section 2, even outside their service area, before MUS offers any service outside of the county, and substitute the wording, served by Appalachian Electric Cooperative customers as soon as possible. That's in section 2. I move that, along with that motion, that we delete section 4 completely. That's my motion to amend.
I'm not on this commission, we should,
You'll have,
they put Comcast in there with it.
We're dealing today
you'll
with,
need to have someone else to make the motion. You'll need to have someone else to
Okay.
make the motion
I've been ruled out of order.
as chair.
Well, I don't have it exactly written out. I'll put it.
Chairman, I have an alternate resolution that I wrote, it's pretty much a lot of this same language, but might address some of this if you would like to consider that.
How, do we need to decide something today?
I don't think so. I think, we
Okay.
got a motion and a second, or we got a second.
Yeah.
I can
Now,
imagine.
We got it.
it needs to be open for discussion.
Yeah.
You got a motion second, you got amendment, but I don't
Second
know.
amendment.
No, you don't have
Accept the amendment?
The amendment
No
is ruled out of
amendment.
order by the chairman. of the
Amendment what?
His amendment, but we can't. He's the chairman.
He can't make the amendment. Howard can't make
He made the
the
amendment.
motion to amend
No,
as
he
chair
can't.
of the committee. Someone else on the committee needs to make the motion to amend.
Mr. Whittington says he has an alternate amendment. Is there a member of the committee who wishes to consider his alternate? Huh? As an amendment?
As an amendment?
Would you like me to pass it? I mean, you're on the committee.
If you're on the committee, well, no, everybody needs to,
I'll see if I've got it now. I think I have
because everybody.
That's 14.
13.
Maybe 14.
He could be here.
It's got a lot, this has a lot of the same whereas, verbiage in it.
But there's a motion on the floor, right?
I opened it up for discussion.
We have a motion on the floor, open it up for discussion.
I'd like to see us wait on it, not vote on it, or just wait till I read this sometime.
Well, I agree with you.
Well,
Would you,
I'll make, that's my discussion, we voted not approve this resolution today, it's on the floor.
You want to make a motion to table
Yeah.
table?
Well, if I can.
You can.
I can, he's got, it's for discussion, he got to vote, he's got a motion and a second.
Okay.
According to the law, we got to, my discussion is that we vote against it today.
Enforce the law.
And I'm not discussion, would you?
You know, I'm not opposed to amendment.
would you agree to withdraw your motion and let us consider it, for,
I
so
want
we
to
can
pass
study
out,
this
I
issue?
want it either passed out here today or killed today, whichever. One way, in other words,
I think we'll kill it today.
All right, let's go ahead and.
execute it. But I am open for the amendment,
All right. Any other discussion?
you know, if somebody wants to.
Any other discussion? Okay.
I,
Are you voting the original?
Yes, we are.
The motion is the original resolution.
Up or down?
Up or down, that's right, up or down. All right, hearing no other discussion, then call the roll.
Hubert Davis,
No.
Randy DeBoer,
No.
Rick Eldridge,
No.
Stansel Ford, Joe Huntsman,
No.
Tim Goins, Howard Shipley,
No.
John Smith,
No.
Johnny Walker.
Yes.
3 ayes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 no.
Okay, the motion is defeated. Let's proceed then to the next item of business. So I can find